Hi guys, JT here, and today I'll bring you some information on the Humble Bundle Best of Survivors Like Bundle of April 2023 to help you answer the question, should you buy it? If you know more about game bundles, feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps the channel out. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Rogue Genesia, a roguelite deck building game. In this game, you murder relentless hordes and increase your strength and use different attack styles as you do it. You play as Rogue, and you're on a murderous path of slaying thousands of monsters invading your land, in hopes of slaying the demonic boss. You can choose your path as you play the game, like will you charge into battle the first chance you get, or search for some magical items first to help you in battle later. There's a whole arsenal of man-made melee and ballistic weapons that you can use to crush your enemy's skulls and pierce their flesh. There are elemental weapons that you can wield to bring more death and destruction. You'll grow stronger as you collect Dark Souls, not to be confused by the game Dark Souls by From Software, dropped by thousands of dead bodies of your victims. You can also upgrade your weapons and abilities, but it is always a juggling act. Focusing on specific abilities will make you a killing machine against certain enemies, but weak against others, and being unable to manage the horde will most certainly spell doom. You'll die a lot in this game, but the upgrade system and gameplay is addictive enough to keep you coming back for more. So if you like an addictive roguelike game murdering thousands of medieval monsters, definitely check out Rogue Genesia. At number 2 we have Boneraiser Minions, a survival game where you play as a necromancer defending against hordes of heroes by raising undead minions. The game is part of the survivor genre, like Vampire Survivors, as per all the games in this list. However, Boneraiser Minions stand out from other games because of the exceptional gameplay and the absurd tone. In the game, the player moves around to avoid enemy swarms while growing their collection of weapons, which are minions that the players raise, and they attack autonomously. The player has very little direct control over the minions' offense. The game also includes single-use spells and passive items to provide more traditional attacks. Minions range from skeletons and monsters to more bizarre abominations, including living pumpkins, living pots, and strawberry people. Discovering every unit type and learning how they all interact to create weirder minions is a huge part of the fun, as is acquiring spells and passive items. The game includes quite a few character classes that are unlockable, each emphasizing a certain playstyle through their permanent upgrades. There are also purchasable skills that can be applied across all classes, and an entire suite of power-ups for the Boneraiser's foes. Enemy waves can be bought and enhanced in a hero's skill menu, adding such antagonistics as poisoning elves or gem-filled slimes. While it may seem strange at first, improving the enemy heroes is a vital key to survival. More heroes mean more experience and gold, while more waves mean more time to grow your army before powerful bosses show up. Unlocks include an architect mode that lets you buy and place structures on the map itself. Boneraiser Minions is a whole different story than other survivor games. It is a hallmark of an emergent genre. At number 3 we have Nomad Survival, a 2D auto-attacker bullet hell roguelike, similar to Vampire Survivor. The basic gameplay loop of this game is as follows. You choose your character and murder droves and droves of monsters, level up, choose new abilities and weapons, continue murdering everything for 30 minutes, then fight the big bad boss to progress to the next level. Your screen will get quite hectic as monsters swarm you, thus it is also a bullet hell. Each character has their own fun and unique abilities, like the ability to create a damaging shield or summoning the dead who will fight for you. Modifiers in this game keeps each run fresh, like doing double damage but you can't heal, or having damage done over time. You can even change the game's speed if the existing speed isn't hectic enough as it is. So if you're into murdering tons of monsters through a chaotic landscape with tons of modifiers, then this game is for you. And number 4 we have Bounty of One, a simple yet fun arena shooter game. The game has easy to learn mechanics, making it accessible to everyone, and you can play it with keyboard or gamepad. The gameplay revolves around avoiding enemies while murdering them and leveling up by gaining experience points. You start with low stats, but as you kill enemies you gain experience points, level up, and increase your bounty. The game has different types of enemies, each with unique characteristics and abilities, such as ones who throw dynamites at you or chasing you with a large group of enemies. There are 2 types of bosses in this game. The first type of boss is the one that chases you with a large group of enemies and has high speed and life points. If you kill this boss, it will drop a chest for you to obtain offensive and defensive upgrades. The second type of boss is the Sheriff, who make the enemies chasing you escape. Sheriffs have high hit points and different attack types. The dash mechanic adds to the gameplay's fun, allowing you to gain different upgrades to increase your dash amount, deal damage, or regenerate life. You can play Bounty of One with one of 3 different characters, each with unique weapons and stats. As you collect points, you can buy upgrades on the black market to earn different buffs from the start of the game. The graphics and animations are simple yet vibrant, making it easy to see and dodge enemy attacks. Overall, Bounty of One is a game worth playing if you're looking for a simple game with easy to learn mechanics and fun gameplay. The The game's low system requirements also make it more accessible to anyone, and the variety of enemies and bosses along with the ability to level up and gain new abilities make the game engaging. However, the game does lack a story, but it's a minor issue compared to the overall enjoyment you can get from the game. And number 5 we have Just King, an auto-battler roguelike game. In this game you control a king who must assemble what essentially is the Avengers of 4 warriors to fight to the death to protect him. Your warriors come with different classes, each with its own set of abilities. Having different warrior combinations will provide synergy and unlock some pretty cool new powers. You can equip various upgrades that you can buy from shops onto your warriors to make them better killing machines and essentially customize your warriors. What you equip your warriors with during your pre-battle phase will be essential to the survival of your king. During battle, you walk around as the king, as your 4 warriors beat the crap out of everybody coming close to you. You can rotate your warriors around, so you can have certain warriors beat up certain monsters. The screen does get quite busy, but not Vampire Survival level busy. Murdering enemies will net you experience points and gold for upgrades. In between battles, you're presented with some text, describing what your king and his 4 warriors are doing. It is during these times that the game will present you with some scenarios with choices that you can make for your team. These choices are dependent on which warriors you have in your team. Equipping different warriors will give you different choices. Depending on choices you make, you will then be presented with rewards that you have obtained, and these can be quite random and funny, like earning gold for dodging a falling seed. If you like a more casual game that is similar to Vampire Survivor, Just King may be just the game for you. And number 6 we have Scarlet Tower, a roguelite game that once again draws inspiration from Vampire Survivors. You play as one of the 7 characters trying to survive waves of enemies for 20 minutes. The game has a unique progression system where you can earn XP and gold during the day, which allows you to level up and upgrade weapons or passive abilities. At night, enemies are more vicious, but you earn night crystals, which are upgrade glyphs on your abilities and faction-specific skills. The game features a variety of weapons, and when 2 compatible weapons max out, they fuse to become even more powerful. Unlike Vampire Survivors, you can level up the fused weapon, making it even stronger. You can also use gold to upgrade your character's unique abilities and core stats or level up familiars for passive upgrades. Scarlet Tower's environments are engaging, with actual obstacles, making it more strategic than looping crowds of enemies. You can raise the corruption level for more rewards, but it makes the level harder. The day and night cycle makes things more strategic, as you might want to level up quickly during the day and set yourself up to survive more easily at night. Scarlet Tower has room to grow, with the developer planning to add more characters and quality of life additions. The game lacks Vampire Survivor's humor, but has gorgeous graphics and unique ideas. Overall, Scarlet Tower has its own identity that sets it apart from other roguelike games, and is worth trying if you enjoy Vampire Survivors. And number 7 we have Neon Sundown, an arena roguelike shooter where you murder hundreds of neon-lit enemies. You start out with a ship in an arena, and you're tasked with shooting waves upon waves of neon enemy ships. Your goal is to survive for 10 minutes, or beat a certain boss in the arena. Murdering these enemy ships will drop thousands of orbs that you can collect, and also gain you experience points for you to upgrade your abilities with cards. Cards are varied, and different card combinations will change your playstyle drastically, like cards that allow you to fire ninja stars, increase bullet speed, among others. Cards can be further upgraded and combined to create some crazy combinations of death and destruction. The longer you are in an arena, the more enemies will spawn, and soon your screen will be filled with neon-colored shapes, all trying to murder you. It gets quite chaotic. As you keep playing the game, you'll keep unlocking new rewards that you can use each run, like new cards, new ships, new synergies. It gets pretty crazy, hitting you with all the dopamine. You can also customize your ships before starting any game session, allowing you to go into the game with the ideal setup for your ship. The game is also still being updated, so do expect new content drops, such as the update on August 20th, 2022, which adds a new in-game store called the Black Market, where you can purchase even more content like new ships, arenas, and cards with in-game currency. If you like being addicted to shooting thousands of neon-colored things and collect little tiny orbs, this game is definitely one to play. And number 8 we have Repetendium, a challenging and fast-paced action roguelike game with bullet hell elements that will test your reflexes and strategic thinking. In Repetendium, you take on the role of a chicken, a robot dude, or a purple rock, fighting your way through waves of enemies across procedurally generated levels. Each character plays very differently in the game. The gameplay in Repetendium is focused on fast-paced action, intense combat, and mining. You'll face a wide variety of enemies that will come at you in waves, and you'll need to use your quick reflexes and strategic thinking to stay alive. The game also features bullet hell elements, with a variety of projectiles filling the screen, making it even more challenging to survive. The roguelike aspect of Repetendium means that each time you die, you're sent back to the beginning of the game, with a new procedurally generated level to explore. This means that every playthrough is different, and you need to adapt to new challenges and strategies to progress further. In order to gain more XP, you can either kill enemies or mine blue crystals on the map by destroying bits of the map, while potentially stumbling upon new areas. However, opening up new areas on the map also allows more monsters to run at you to murder you. The game is challenging, even on the first level, and you'll need to put in a lot of effort to progress through the levels. The bosses are particularly difficult. However, the difficulty never feels unfair, and each time you die, you'll learn something new that'll help you to survive a little longer in the next playthrough. In conclusion, Repetendium is a challenging and rewarding action roguelike game with bullet hell elements that'll test your skills and strategic thinking. With its fast-paced gameplay, multiple abilities and mods to change the game, and challenging difficulty, it'll keep you coming back for more. If you're a fan of action-packed games and are looking for a challenge, Repetendium is definitely worth checking out. And that's all for this bundle. This bundle is great if you like games like Vampire Survivors or roguelikes. Who knows, maybe the term survivor-like might be a thing moving forward. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.